So I get it. I know everybody wants to talk about Iran and only Iran right now, but listen, look, today is the 24th of June, 2025. It's 8:45 in the morning in Germany. This is the Insanity Report for today. And as of today, as of right now, the Iran thing looks like a screaming success. So if it turns out not to be, we'll find out. Then we can talk about it again. But if it stays the way it is now, like all the U.S. did was go in and bomb these nuclear sites to smithereens, and now they're gone and that's it. It's time to come to the table. If that's the outcome of this thing, nobody can bitch about it. Everybody should be cool with it. So let's wait and see if that turns out to be the outcome. And instead, let's talk a second about China. Now, I know that Trump and everybody in the world seems to agree that China is America's biggest enemy. And I don't really think that the signs are there to show that. You know why? Because I was watching a podcast. I can't remember whose it was and who the guy was that was on it that said it. But they were talking about AI and how far ahead China is as far as the power sources are concerned for AI and blah, blah, blah. And this dude, he was a CEO of a big tech company for sure, and that works with AI. I just don't remember what the name of his name is or the company. But he said that every Chinese citizen is mandated to give information over to the CCP if they ask for it. So now I was under the impression that maybe Chinese business people that have businesses in America and locations in America, that they would have to give over maybe information they found out to the CCP somehow. I was not under the impression that every Chinese citizen that is running around in America is mandated by Chinese law to just give whatever information the CCP is seeking over to them. So that means that every student from China is basically a CCP operative, right? Every Chinese person that works in one of these AI places or big tech companies or any place, actually, maybe in the military or as a judge or any place, that they are subject to be contacted by the CCP at any moment, and they would have to give them the information that they want. Now, you could say, well, okay, but only if people aren't planning to go back to China, you know what I mean, and they don't want to live there, then they're safe in America. They don't have to tell those people shit. Well, we also know that for some reason, the CCP was able to set up, and still has, as far as I know, like clandestine police stations in America that police Chinese people, so that we'll go to their house and like threaten them or something like that. Now, I don't know how real these reports are, but I've heard about them everywhere, and I don't really hear anybody denying that. Also, the Chinese are buying up farmland all over the place. They're buying, port locations and, critical infrastructure, things are being sold to the Chinese. The Chinese also make pretty much all the important components of the transformers that hold the completely fucked up power grid in America together. Nobody checks those for malware or spyware or any shit like that. Essentially, the Chinese could turn that shit off at any time. They've never done that. If you know as a government, now this is a question, a real question. Anybody out there can answer the question for me. It'd be great if somebody could give me a working thesis for this. Okay, so if you as a government are 100% sure that Chinese students and Chinese business people and workers are stealing your IP for AI and for all kinds of other tech and shipping it back over to China, if you know as a government that every Chinese citizen you let into your country, whether it's to study or work or business or whatever, if you know that those people are under the thumb of the CCP and must give any information that they have about whatever they might have information about over to the CCP, otherwise face severe consequences. And you know that there are like clandestine police stations set up by the CCP in the United States. If you know all those things, why are you letting them into your country? Basically what you're doing then, if you know all those things are true, right? Now, some of those things could be bullshit, okay? Maybe they're not true. I am like thinking they're probably not true, because otherwise the United States really is not acting accordingly, right? Because they're still letting in tons of students from China. Why? Why does America owe Chinese citizens a spot in one of these universities so that they can get educated in the United States, just to run the risk that they might be giving whatever information they have on the United States or on its tech or whatever over to the CCP? Why the fuck would you do that? That's like telling, Iran, hey, guys, we know that every Iranian, for example, right? I'm not saying this is true. This is an analogy, okay? Every Iranian is subject by Iranian law to form a terror cell, sleeper cell within the United States in order to benefit Iran. And the government knows that for sure. But let's keep letting in Iranian citizens. For what reason? What? Oh, you don't want to be discriminatory. Oh, you don't want to be racist? Oh, okay. So you're going to allow your country to get destroyed because you don't want to be racist? Listen, that has nothing to do with race, right? It has nothing to do with being Chinese. The fact is, if it's true that every citizen of China that comes to the United States is subject to answering to the CCP about what they learn in America, then that is basically a hostile force invading your country. But they're not invading the United States. They're being let in to study. And they're getting grants and fucking scholarships to study for cheaper. They're basically getting pulled into the country. Why? I don't understand. That makes no sense to me. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of, right? Which makes me believe more that all this shit is just blah blah about China, right? I've never seen China threaten anyone else with, except for Taiwan maybe and Hong Kong, but like they have never threatened the West with war. You know what I'm saying? They've never tried to take over shit. Okay, COVID could have been an attempt. I don't know. You know what I mean? But there was a lot of people involved in COVID. It might not be the Chinese. It may have just been Fauci. You know what I mean? We don't know. Right? But what I'm saying is, if China was really that much of a threat, right, they wouldn't be allowing Chinese citizens and China to get so close to Americans and the country. They wouldn't let them buy up infrastructure that's vital to America. They wouldn't let them buy farmland next to nuclear military bases. They wouldn't let them come study at MIT and get involved in companies involving AI, because America has a lot of catching up to do when it comes to AI, because China has 10 times the power source that America does. And America's running way behind. They have to fucking hurry up. They have to stop the BS and hurry the fuck up to catch up to China. They're way ahead, right? Now, tech-wise, America might be ahead. But China is not going to last, it's not going to be too long, especially if you got motherfuckers working at MIT, shipping all the information back to China. I mean, come on, what the fuck is wrong with these people? It's like Tucker Carlson said in his interview with Ted Cruz. If you know for sure that the mullahs have hired hitmen within the United States to kill Donald Trump, and you know that for 100% certainty, why haven't you already attacked Iran? You're going to allow that to happen under your fucking nose while you're looking at it? That makes no sense. So it makes me think, man, I don't know, if you put all these things together, China seems to want to be able to do business everywhere. I don't see China vying for turning the whole world into the Chinese Communist Party. I don't see them trying to do that. I don't see that they have an interest to do that. It seems like they really just want to make a lot of money and do that their way and be able to do deals with the rest of the world. I haven't really heard them being offensive or in attack mode against any Western country ever. That, combined with the fact that every Western country is allowing these people in to their countries, knowing that they are beholden to the CCP, doesn't seem to worry anybody, right? So that means to me that it's not really that big a fucking deal. And don't give me this bullshit about, well, you can't just discriminate against a whole society full of people. Yes, you fucking can. Because you see, in America, you make the rules, right? The Chinese people don't make the rules. Just like in your house, you make the rules. I can discriminate against whoever the fuck I want coming in my house, right? For whatever reason. Now, I would never do that based on the fact that they're Chinese. I would never do that based on the fact that they're, a different skin color. But if I knew that they were out to fuck me over somehow, and that was their goal, I would keep them as far away from me as I could. And people could call me discriminatory or racist or whatever the fuck they want. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what they say. And that would be the stance of any real government if they were facing an actual threat such as this. You don't let the enemy come into your country en masse and then grant them and give them taxpayer money to study on your dime, and then to steal your IP and send it back to China, and then say, well, we can't, we know all this is happening, but we can't stop it. We can't not allow these people in. That's madness. That's madness. If it was me, if I was Donald Trump and this was true, if this was a real threat like this, if this is actually happening, and I had the intelligence that it was happening, if I was Donald Trump, I'd say, okay, that's it. No more Chinese people doing business. They can come as tourists, you know what I'm saying? On vacation and shit. But no more buying up infrastructure, no more buying up farmland, no more studying at our universities. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's over. It's over. Right? And of course, the Supreme Court probably try to block him and blah, blah, blah. Yo, fuck that shit, man. Find a fucking way. Because if that shit is true, that's crazy. All right, guys. So there's something to think about, right? And again, on the Iran thing, let's just keep our fingers crossed that Donald Trump is going to stick to his guns, not get pulled in to a greater, longer war by Israel. And if that's the case, and Iran really is rid of nuclear weapons, then America did the world a favor here. This is the one place on earth that I object to having nuclear weapons. So if it was true and they're now gone, that'd be fucking fantastic. If we find out otherwise, or America gets pulled into some sort of regime change war on behalf of Israel, that's going to be a whole different story. Then I will be mega upset along with everybody else about it. But until then, until I find out that's the case, I'm like, yo, cool. All right, let's get on with new business. Let's get back to deporting people. Let's get back to fucking clearing out government waste. Let's get back to finally getting some fucking accountability for all these people that are due accountability. All right, guys, have a great Tuesday. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.